Good evening, YouTube, and welcome to another edition of Poznanski's Beer Reviews. Today's review is going to be a re-review. I reviewed this beer as my first ever episode of Poznanski's Beer Reviews. And I think my taste buds have gotten different since then. I've gotten a little less picky when it comes to the beers I drink. I used to just only like craft beers back then, so I used to give macro companies like this unfair advantage. So I'm going to try to re-review most of those beers. Today's beer, obviously, is the Stella Artois, out of Leuven, Belgium. As it says right there. Where does it say? It says on the bottom, Leuven. From 1366. This is from the Stella Artois brewery out of Belgium. This is owned by the same company that brews Budweiser, Anheuser-Busch InBev. It is imported by Import Brands Alliance, St. Louis, Missouri. On Beer Advocate, it gets a score of 71, which is okay, and the Bros give it a 72. The style is a Euro Pale Lager. On Rate Beer, it gets a 12 overall and an 89 in the style. On Rate Beer, it says their ABV is 5.2% alcohol by volume. On Advocate, it says 5%. Whatever. I'm going to go with the 5 here on this one. I don't see it on the bottle. Oh, okay. On the bottle, it says 5. Most beer reviewers I see review this comes in the can. It's very difficult to find the can where I'm at. So I just go with the bottles. Unfortunately, the bottles are green, so they're going to leave into a little skunking. So let's get the top off. Hopefully there's no skunk in this one. Let's pour it down. I don't want a big head on this one. Let's see what we can do here. Okay. That pours a very a nice straw color, golden, crisp appearance, very clear. A lot of bubbles streaming up from the bottom. This is very common. Let's get a smell on it, guys. A little bit of skunk. Get that classic Euro Pale Lager smell that you smell with the Heineken. I smelled this from the Becks the other day. They all smell the same. Except the Becks I had wasn't skunky because it was in the cans. A little bread, some toastiness maybe. A little hint of the barley malt. Let's get a taste. Tastes almost identical to the Becks I had. Except this has a tiny bit more hop bitterness on the back end. I will give it that it's a little bit more bitter on the back end. It does have a weird, though. It almost has a weird spice to it. Like a tinging sensation you get in your tongue. It's very carbonated. This drink is very crisp. It's quite refreshing. Now this beer is 5%. I thought it used to be 6. I could have sworn it used to be 6. I guess I might be wrong on that one. So, on this Rate Beer, they give it a 12 overall and 89 in the style. So they're basically saying, they're basically saying that for the style, it's a very good style. I mean, for the style, it's very good for what style it is, but this style basically is just blah. So I'm just gonna rate the beer as a blah beer because that's what it is. But I mean, I'm gonna give it the same rating I give all my other adjunct lager. This is, I mean, I don't know if it's an adjunct lager. It's classified as Euro Pale Lager, but I'm pretty sure they use rice. It's brewed from Anheuser-Busch InBev, and I know like they like to cut costs sometimes and use rice. Not that that's a bad thing, using rice. It does make it is crisp and refreshing, so I'll give it that. But I mean, I'm not big on these Euro Pale Lagers. They all taste the same, and they all have that weird sweet malt on the fourth, like, I almost want to say candy-like. Very sugary, sweet barley malt presence. Whereas with the regular adjunct, like your Budweisers or your Coors or like the ice beers, you get a cooked vegetable taste, which isn't as sweet as this, in my opinion. And just so you know, hopefully I'm going to try to make this a triple review night. I have 2 more beers in the fridge. I'm going to try to review both of them by the night's over. It's only 9:30, so hopefully I can review those. But my final thoughts on this beer. I gave it a bad rating. I think I gave it a bad rating when I reviewed it last. It's a good beer. I mean, I'll give it out of 10. I'll give it a 7. It's just this kind of beer is not my. I don't like that Euro Pale Lager taste. I used to love Heineken. Before I found craft beer, Heineken, all that I would drink. It was. I tasted Coors Light, and then I found Heineken, and then Heineken was so bitter. Now it's like seltzer water after I have like an IPA or something. Not much lacing. I don't know. I can't seem to find a good beer that leaves a lot of lacing on the glass. But anyway, yeah, I'll give it a 7, I'll give it a 70. I don't really have much to say. It's a decent beer. It's a crisp beer. It's a refreshing beer if you're coming home from work. Like, I just came home from buying the beers. I was biking like about a mile, so I was sweating a little bit. I wanted to have a beer, a nice cold, refreshing, crisp lager, and that's what Stella's for, or your regular lagers. This one had a little bit of skunk, not a lot. Always better to be safe and go with the cans. That way no sunlight can get in. I mean, I don't think they make them in brown bottles, so remember, green and clear bottles let in sunlight, that skunk up flavors. That skunk up the aroma, because it messes with the hops. Brown bottles are best. Not twist-offs, though. Homebrewers can't really use those. Alright? Anyway, that's it for this beer review, guys. Have any comments? Comment down below. As always, rate, comment, subscribe, request beers, and see you next time on Poznansky's Beer Reviews.